Why do so many smart kids still struggle in school? Well, there are some very understandable reasons for this. And there are so many, I've seen this so many times, both when I was a teacher in the classroom, as well as with the thousands of students that we work with on a daily basis, where you've got kids who are just, some of them brilliant, some of them just ordinary smart. In fact, every child has something really special and smart about them and a skill that's really strong. But what happens is that apart from intelligence, there are a bunch of underlying cognitive skills that are essential for learning. And it doesn't mean that they're not smart, it just means that they haven't developed those skills yet. I think of two in particular that we see all the time. One is processing speed, and the other is flexible thinking. So, processing speed is pretty much what it sounds like. It's how quickly our brains can respond to something, take it in, understand it, and begin to develop a response for it. And a lot of people think that when a child processes more slowly, that means that they're not as intelligent, and that is absolutely not the case. In fact, we have lots and lots of very bright students who process a little bit more slowly. So those are two entirely separate things. But what it does mean is that a lot of kids who otherwise can really understand things very readily and deeply, who have a lot of interesting things to say, can respond to complex questions, can think about deep problems, but it just takes them a little bit longer to respond. The good news is that processing speed, like other skills, can be developed. The other one is flexible thinking that we see all the time. And in fact, the pandemic has taken its toll on, in general, on kids and adults. Flexible thinking. Flexible thinking is what you need when you need to shift gears, when you need to look at something from a different perspective. So you might be working on a problem, and the usual ways that you have of solving it aren't working. It's not working out for you. And so you need to shift gears, you need to take a different perspective, you need to try a different approach. And that shift is referred to as flexible thinking. And so that can really stand in the way also of very bright students, because what happens is that everyone thinks, oh, that you're so smart, you should be able to do this, you should be able to solve this problem. And that's what the kids themselves will often think. But if they have difficulty shifting gears, they may get stuck. And they may get very negative or down on themselves because they can't figure it out. They may start to lose confidence in their own learning ability because if they were that smart, they wouldn't have that problem, right? They would just be able to think through and solve the problem and use everything that they normally do. So that ability to shift gears, to cognitive flexibility or flexible thinking, are really essential, more today probably than we've ever seen at any time in our history, because things are changing so quickly. So bottom line is that every kid is smart in some important way, and smart kids can still struggle with learning and still struggle with school because some of the underlying cognitive processes that they need to be good learners and to perform well academically just aren't developed yet. And when I say yet, that is a really important word. Yet means that just exactly that. They haven't developed those skills yet, not that they can't. And in fact, what we know is that cognitive skills can be developed to a far greater degree than most people realize and in a far shorter period of time. So when we have students who come to us either because their parents have brought them to us or because we are working with a school, what we see is that within 12 to 14 weeks, these cognitive skills like processing speed, like flexible thinking, like memory skills, like working memory, and others that you may have heard of, can actually be developed and strengthened to a significant degree in that time frame. And so if you have a student or a child who is struggling with learning and you know they're smart, and parents know when their kids are smart, and as I said, not just about, every child is smart in some important way. So if you have a child that is struggling, even though they're smart, we need to talk. And I will going to post a couple of links to schedule a call, one for educators, so if you have students like this, or for parents, particularly to schedule a call to discuss your particular child and how different life would be if their processing speed or their working memory or their flexible thinking were just a little bit stronger.